7 in all, and I have such a fun and exciting homeschool haul for you today. If you're new to this channel, I am a second-generation homeschooler, a mom to 2 young boys, and we are homeschooling and raising our kids in Southeast Asia. We are American expats. We've been living here quite a while. I think my husband and I first moved overseas 7 years ago. And we just got to go back to the USA and spend a month there for the summer. And I did quite a bit of shopping because it was our first trip back to the USA in 4 years. And I wasn't even a parent last time I was in America. So it's a whole new world opening up when now you have kids, and now we're in the homeschool stage. I also have a sister who's in 10th grade and a sister who's in 5th grade. We live in the same apartment building as my parents. We are a very close family. We call ourselves a multi-generational homeschool because I help teach some of the homeschool classes for my high school sister and for my elementary age sister. And we have a lot of fun homeschooling together. If you are new to my channel, I do encourage you to go down right below this video and click subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can see more videos from our creative homeschool life overseas. And right now I'm going to show you what I got. This is going to be a little bit of a long video probably because I got a lot of stuff. So I am going to categorize it. I'll kind of like announce the categories as I go, and I will try to put in timestamps. So look down in the bottom for the description. I'll put in timestamps, and I'll try to put in links for whatever I can find links for, so that I'm not like raving over something and then you have 0 ideas of where to find it when you fall in love with it too. For, just maybe a couple things. 1 or 2. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to do all the homeschool related stuff first. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you a little bit of a haul also of some non-homeschool specific things that I got and brought back, just because I know some of you are really interested in our expatriate life. And I just wanted to show you some of the maybe odd things that those of us who live overseas think about buying when we get a chance to go back to our other home. All right, let's get started. All right, so look at all this. I just want you to get like a grand appreciation of the giganticness of this, and so that you can also feel sympathy for me, because I need to find homes for all of this stuff once I'm done filming this video. But don't worry, not all of it is actually going to stay in my home, because a good bit of this is for my sisters, for my things I picked up for my mom and her homeschool. So I'm only actually keeping some of it in my little apartment. But let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start with kind of games, activities, and supplies. So I'm starting with non-book stuff. I talk a lot about books on this channel, but you can't homeschool with solely books. I mean, you need a couple pens and pencils. Let's get started. I only got a few of these out, not the whole bag that I got. These were free from a teacher friend of my sister's. She had a teacher friend who was cleaning out her classroom, getting rid of a lot of stuff, and we actually got a lot of free stuff from that. So I thought these were just fun. They're like people that connect, and you can make different connections and shapes. I've got a toddler and a preschooler. To me, this is just a great little hands-on activity they can play with, connecting things in different ways. That's always fun. These are like watercolor crayons type of things. I have to be honest, this whole haul, it came from so many different sources. This is not just me going to Target and buying up everything. This is many different sources. There were free things from a teacher friend of the family. There were things that I found in my grandparents' basement because my siblings used to live there. We were cleaning out the basement, and so I grabbed a bunch of stuff that used to be my little sister's and so on from that. There were gifts. Pro tip for affording homeschool: tell your friends and family that when they ask, what can we get you for your birthday, or what can we get you your kids for Christmas or whatever, tell them you want things that you can use in homeschool, things that you're actually going to be able to use. Gifts don't always have to be just, extras. They can be pretty practical. But yeah, so these are watercolor crayons in some pretty cute kind of bright colors. Those will be fun. These, I actually saw that Dina from Pursuing Peace got some of these same sets. I found these at Target. So these were very inexpensive little magnet sets. This one is all the presidents of the United States. And I'm already imagining some great activities for my youngest sister of let's put all the presidents in order, you know, kind of could follow along with her list or work on memorization of the order of presidents, talking about, okay, what different ones are famous for. Some of them have some, like, kind of, all have some symbols with them, and some symbols kind of particularly go with that particular president. So I thought that was pretty cool. Got a couple sets. This one will probably be more for my little boys. And you know, we don't always have to do super educational things with them. We could just stick these on our fridge. My preschooler is going through a huge magnet loving phase. He loves moving magnets around on the fridge, and he loves bugs. So I thought that'd be fun. And we got one more, Architectural Wonders of the World. I thought that'd be great for my sister as well. Get a little geography, looking at some of these famous buildings and structures from the present and past. We got scissors. Child scissors are an essential, and there's something that's kind of hard to find good quality child scissors where we live. So I picked these up, 2 pairs. I don't think left-handed and right-handed scissors are nearly as big of a deal as they used to be. These seem pretty and they're kind of made so that you can use them either hand. So that's great. My son is left-handed, just like me. Yay, winning. It's always easier to teach a kid to write if you have the same dominant hand they do. I have large Crayola crayons. Did pick up a couple kinds of Crayola crayons because they're very expensive where we are. My sister got these for us, some Colors of the World crayons as well. Got a couple erasers. Got some just plain old normal pencils. I didn't know this before I first moved overseas, but the preferred pencil that's sold where you are kind of depends on what's popular where you are, where we are, pencils don't typically have erasers, and they are usually 2B instead of HB pencils. And I do prefer the HB leads. I think that you don't have to stop and sharpen the pencil again and again and again nearly so often when you have the harder HB lead. So we do always pick up some pencils when we're in the US. Got some glue sticks. Those were also just found in the basement among the kids, my siblings' stuff, and grabbed them. They don't need glue sticks. They're in college. Grabbed some pens. This is like half of the package of pens. They're like just you know, hey, I can always, you know, they can't fit that many things into their new house, so you know, I can use them. I can use them. We're a family that shares a lot. I got this game. We've played Spot It with some friends before, but we never had our own. I thought this was great and compact, good for being able to bring back here. We've never really had a lot of kids games. I'm not the biggest game person, but I guess life needs more than just books. So we did get a couple of younger age games that my boys can kind of grow into, or my youngest sister can play right now. This is a dino stacking game. So you take turns and you're trying to stack all the dinos that are part of your little group of dinos onto the big dino at the bottom. So I think that's really fun and cute, small, not too bulky to store. This is magnets again, and you can make different pictures, puzzles. This will be great for my little ones. We can talk about shapes, colors, use vocabulary while we play. These are wooden magnet shapes, and they're magnetic. Now this was a request from one of my sisters. We've never seen this game for sale here. I didn't even know if it would still be for sale in America, but Operation. I did love this game when I was a kid. I think the family will have some fun playing that. Not super educational, but you know, there's something educational about simply just playing games, right? Playing games, learning the rules, having that experience. This is really neat. Maybe everyone in the US has already heard of these and is already playing with these. My sister bought this as a gift for my boys. I had never seen these before, but they're like little drawing or writing tablets. You can use this pen, or that came with a couple other ones. to make different, that does different textures and stuff. And then you just erase it when you push the button. I thought that was really neat. To me, it's kind of like a more modern version of those old magnetic drawing things that were like white, and then it pulled the magnets to the surface when you use the pen on it, and you can draw and write on those. That's what it reminds me of. And also a little bit like a chalkboard, but not as dusty. For now, like in quarantine, when we were in the quarantine hotel, my boys scribbled on this a lot, played on it a lot. For now, I think it would just be surely for that kind of drawing, playing. But I could imagine as we get closer to handwriting stage and so on, we might use this more in school as a little sketch pad, drawing pad. It did come with some kind of game or drawing cards. It's transparent, this thing. So you can stick a card, you can slide different cards behind it. So they do have some kind of like educational cards and games, but that's going to be more for older kids. Maybe if my youngest sister wants to play with it, she could use those cards for now. But for my boys, I would just keep those packed away for a while. When we're shopping in America, I have to admit, like, one of the things we do, which I would not recommend doing, is I do buy some things without necessarily having a very strict plan on how I'm going to use it or exactly when. And I wouldn't recommend that in normal situations, but when you normally don't have access to being able to buy such types of materials at an affordable price, then you do have to make some allowances. You have to do things a little bit differently. So I did buy stuff we don't have immediate plans to use, but things that we know are useful resources that we're going to be able to use in the upcoming years. So these I have wanted little vinyl, like plastic animals, hard, small, detailed, realistic animals. Since I think my oldest was born, I have always wanted these. Like, I don't know why. I had some memory of seeing them sold at like museum gift shops, and I always thought those would be so cool. My boys love animals, but I did buy a set here in where we are, but they're very low quality. The animals look pretty weird to me, which the kids still like them, of course. But I found these sets. There's a bear. I found these sets at Hobby Lobby. And I bought 3 or 4 different sets of them, so you'll see different kind of themes of animals. I got some North American forest animals, got some ocean animals, I got farm animals because I love farms. And we did play with these a lot in quarantine already, and I think we can have a lot of fun. You know, I can get out, we don't have to have all the different animals out at the same time. I can get out a few or one based on something we're learning about at the moment. And I can foresee us having a lot of fun with this, with sensory bins, with just any kind of imaginary play, building vocabulary in English or in Spanish. I'm super happy with this purchase. I love the size. They're a little bit smaller than some of the other, than some of the other ones I've seen. They're not like the, you know, gold standard Schleich quality or whatever, but I'm playing with toddlers. I don't necessarily need the best of the best with little animal toys, but I'm really happy with these. Like, they look, my camera is probably gonna go out of focus, but they look really nice. Really nice, very realistic, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with these. I've wanted these toys for forever. So, got that. These are magnet cubes. I really went back and forth on if I wanted to get magnet tiles for the boys. I've heard so many good things about them, but the size is just very bulky, and it seems like you need so many to hardly be able to build anything, and they're expensive. Then I found these. It's by the same magnet tiles company, I'm pretty sure. But they're magnet cubes, and I'll definitely link to these below. We played with these all the time in quarantine. They've got different kinds of 3D shapes. I like that they're a lot more compact. They don't take up so much room, but they're really fun to build with. You can do a lot of different kind of things. I bought 2 sets so that we would have enough pieces to really be able to build stuff, and it still doesn't take up that much room. These were gifts from my sister-in-law. I'm turning them off so they don't start talking. Gifts from my sister-in-law for my 2 boys, which they, I was very much like, you know, don't give too many gifts, don't give them so many. Like I was trying to like warn everybody, all the family, not to really shop for us. But the way she was talking to Angel about it, and she told him it was educational and it was in Spanish, and then he knew it would win me over with those two things. You know, he knows my love language. So, and the boys have had a lot of fun with these already in quarantine. They are little books, and you can go through the pages, and when it's on, whenever you touch an animal, depending on what symbol it's on, it will do like a sound the animal makes, or it will say a whole sentence about the animal. I really like that setting. That's the middle setting here, so I try to keep it on that setting. It will say a whole sentence about that animal, and it's in Spanish. They have English or Spanish, but I try to keep it on the Spanish setting. And then I think that's really fun, little talking book, and nice little gift. All right, so that's kind of our supplies, games, and activities. Next, books. And I will try to be efficient. I've got these a little bit sorted into categories. We got 2 fun schooling journals for my sisters. Got this Basic Chinese Total Language Study Program from McGraw-Hill. My high school sister is doing very well with her Chinese. Some of this is going to be quite easy for her as far as grammar. But one thing I really liked about it was that it has a lot of translation that you are supposed to be writing in Chinese, or it has a lot of, later on in the book, a lot of reading, like dialogues that are totally written in Chinese. So, oh yeah, here's one right there. So dialogues that are written in Chinese, they do have the pinyin next to it to help. But there's a lot of here. So like this is a lot of work to be writing. These are maybe simple sentences. She can handle these sentences. But some languages, if you can speak it, you can read it and you can write it. And speaking's the hard part. I've found in Chinese, and I think most people understand why, writing is the hard part in Chinese because there's no alphabet. You need to be able to write hundreds of characters. You need to be able to pull that character out of your memory. The best way to be able to remember the characters you need to write is to write them. So I think this will give her a lot of good opportunity for just writing practice. They say, you know, don't do so much drilling. But we're not talking about learning 26 letters of the alphabet. We're talking about learning 1,000, 2,000 characters in order to be able to get through, you know, a decent kids book, an actual story. So she needs to, that's one area she wants to and is very interested in working on. Found this for her. That will just give her a lot of prompts for practicing her writing. And I think towards the end, some of the grammar does get a little bit more challenging, and will challenge her more as she gets to that point. And that's great. It's nice to find a resource that focuses on writing, which is a skill she wants to grow in, and that gets beyond just the basics. Now, I've already shown you some of the books that I bought while I was in America, but I'm not including those in this haul because, like, I showed you a book outlet haul before. But all of these are new, so there's even more. But wait, there's more. This whole section is books that I bought for either Gentle and Classical Nature or Gentle and Classical Primer, a program that I'm planning to implement in my own way in the future. So these are all books that are recommended as part of that, which is more of a kindergarten, first grade program I'll be using in the future. But the great thing about books that you might read aloud to a kindergartner or first grader is that my 5th grade sister could read these to herself. And so I think my boys aren't ready for this yet. This was kind of a pre-purchase, something I'm planning to do in the future, a program I really like, and will be what their English school is going to be a part of. So this is pretty cool. Little Pilgrim's Big Journey, a Pilgrim's Progress child version. But for now, my youngest sister would be able to read these to herself, so we could assign, you know, one book at a time and gradually reading through these books, which I think would be fun, and she would learn a lot from these ones. This is a Brown Bear's Language Arts Study, which is a language arts study based on the adventures of Buster Bear. This was created by one of my friends on Instagram, Learning with Enchantment. or I guess you could say her real name, Jamie Galt. And it's she has it available for sale, but I won it in a giveaway. I'm really excited to use it. This is targeted at 9 to 11 years old age range. The language arts study is, and my youngest sister is 10, so I think it's going to be perfect for her. Here are a couple of history books. I'm going to do a more thorough video talking about why I chose these history books to add in. And these are more, for now, going to be for my 10th grade sister to be adding into her routine. And we don't always have to do a whole unit study or a whole big theme or anything to be able to include a good and educational book. Sometimes you can just simply add a book to their stack, have them read a few pages, have them read a chapter in a day, and gradually have that added. So I'm not going to go too much into these books because I think they deserve their own full video. But this is Heart and Soul by Kadir Nelson. This is African American history. This is Before Columbus, basically history of the Americas before Columbus arrived. So we have North and South American history there, and this is the True West here, which kind of has more of like 2-page spreads about different people and different characters, real life characters from the Old West. So these are things we're going to be adding into her routine. And I just want to encourage you. Sometimes you just want to read a good book, and you don't have to have some whole master plan. You don't have to make it, okay, well, this is going to count as 1/4 of this credit subject. You don't got to be like that all the time. You can be a little bit chill. You can just add in a good book, have them read through it, talk about it, respond to it with them. Of course, it depends on the kid how much you're going to have to do extra for them to understand it. But these are additions that I am excited to have for them. I think they fill some holes in what we have and what we need. Then here I've got a bunch of just kind of general picture books we're adding to our collection. A lot of these were free from the whole stack of books that my sister's teacher friend passed to her from her classroom. This one was hilarious. This one was just a must-have for me. Mr. Potato Head Across America. My boys have a Mr. Potato Head and a Mrs. Potato Head. They love them. And then this is Mr. Potato Head going across America, being in different states and seeing different landmarks and such. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Thought it'd be fun to read while they have their Mr. Potato Heads. This is a biography picture book, story of Ray Montague. I love biography picture books. In My Mama's Kitchen looked really cute. My son loves the Mercer Meyer books. I was definitely looking for books by authors that we already liked, so got that one. My boys love tractor books. Another Mercer Meyer, Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. My son also loves Byron Barton's books. We've gotten some from the library before. And the dinosaur books are a big hit. Then these ones some of them were gifts from my sisters. I think actually almost all of them were. This one's beautiful, Drawn Together. Gonna need time to actually look at that one. The Day the Crayons Came Home. My sister already read this to my little boy. He was enthralled with it. Miss Ladybird's Wildflowers. I am planning to be using this in an upcoming new release from Where'd You Learn That? So, of course, had to get it. M is for Mitten. You can take the girl out of Michigan. You cannot take the Michigan out of the girl. Just very cute little alphabet book about the state I love so much. Planting Stories, the life of librarian and storyteller Pura Belpre. So I'm excited to read that. The one the Pura Belpre Award was named after. And this is a little book of fables that was a gift from my aunt. So see, this is how do you get a good homeschool library? Tell everyone who loves you that you love books. I picked this up at a thrift store. This is an older edition. I don't think they still sell this exact one of First Language Lessons by Jessie Wise. I've heard really good things about this. I liked the way that this program approaches things, and this is 1st and 2nd grade. So I'm kind of looking ahead to the future, planning on using that. Then reading books, so you can see my stacks. Reading books were a big request of my mom when we were going back, because we kind of have that's something that we're a little bit lacking on, is just simply good books for the girls to read independently. Got a couple of science readers from The Good and the Beautiful, Trees in Their World, and Nature Reader Birds. I don't know yet if we will use The Good and the Beautiful Sciences that go along with those or not. I don't know. We will see. This stack is the ones aimed at the 5th grader. She is probably would say lower than grade level independent reader. She hasn't taken reading and just run with it, so we do go a little bit easier. You don't always need to be worried about, is the kid reading at grade level, and giving them books that are at grade level. What you do want to do is give them books they can actually read and understand. And you do maybe want to have some books that will challenge them a little more, and then some that are a little bit easier, a little bit like candy. So we do have some candy in this pile. This is Judy from The Good and the Beautiful. This one will probably be a little bit challenging for her. It's a little high for her level. Also from The Good and the Beautiful, Johnny McKee and the Big Flood. That's a level 4. This one will be more on the level of, she can definitely fully read it herself. That's a level 3, Crooked Creek Ranch. She loves the Magic Tree House books. I picked up a bunch from a flea market. I picked out like 5, 6 of them. So I was able to get those very cheaply, and she was so excited to see these. She kind of tried to steal them last night when we first arrived, but I said, no, I have to make a book haul. We've never had any of the I Survived series, but I've heard it highly recommended. I feel like it was by Megan from Pennies and Salt, but I'm not 100% sure. But I got 2 to try them. I wasn't able to find these used, but I wanted to get 2 to try for her. You guys saw this in another haul. I found these Betsy and Tacy books. These were actually my books when I was a kid. They were in my siblings' stuff when we were cleaning out the basement. I grabbed those. I think these will be a good level for her. Those are classics. If you haven't read the Betsy and Tacy books, if you haven't had these for your kids, I would definitely recommend them. And one of the Penderwick's books, also found in the basement. Basements are great for book sources. The Wayside School 4-book collection, which I don't think I've actually read the 4th book. Oh, why are you not focusing? The Cloud of Doom. That's the one I have not yet read, so I am going to have to read that. The Wayside School books were my childhood, okay? Then these books are the more advanced books. These are from my high school age sister. A few Good and the Beautiful books. Wavy of the Storm. That's a level 10. The Challengers, level 7. Wild Like the Foxes, level 8. This is a new book by Gary D. Schmidt. I'm a huge fan of his writing. He was actually a professor at the pretty small college I went to, so that was kind of like a star strike for me. The Wednesday Wars and Okay for Now are very good books. I think I heard that this book is related to the same kind of people story that these are. I haven't read it yet, but I really want to read this. Most of the books I got for my teenage sister are books that I would want to read. I got her Mulan, which has the story very simply written in Chinese. No pinyin, but simple Chinese characters, so I thought it would be a good motivation for her. She can use it as copy work. She can use it to learn some new characters and start to reading a storybook, picture book in Chinese. The Secrets of the Terracotta Soldier. I have almost finished this book by Ying Chang Compostine. This is really cool. The author grew up herself during the Mao era in China, and this takes place during the Mao era. And it's kind of like historical fiction, but it's also fantasy because the terracotta soldiers are coming to life. But it actually covers a lot of Chinese history in this because you're part of the time kind of talking about the Qin era, the Qin Shi Huangdi, the Qin Emperor. You're talking about a lot of the Mao era. You're kind of in 2 different eras of Chinese history. They include some Chinese characters throughout the book at times. They have a glossary in the back of the vocabulary that they use. So it and they use real life pictures throughout. So this was really cool. I could actually see this being a good read aloud for more like read aloud to like upper elementary kids, but a good reading book for a teenager. My Heart Lies South, the story of my Mexican marriage. I also read this during quarantine. It is about a cross-cultural interracial marriage in Mexico back in the, I think, like kind of chronicling from the 1930s through the around 1950. And that was very fun, especially for me. If you don't know me, I am married to a Mexican man. I'm raising bilingual kids. My husband's first language is Spanish. So a lot of this was definitely very, you know, of the past, what things were like in the past, but there were also some things kind of relatable to me. While I was away, this is the story of a Japanese girl living in Kansas who is growing up in Kansas, but then her mom realizes that she's not learning Japanese, and she sends her to Japan to live with her grandma and learn Japanese. So it's kind of like third culture kid connections. It's got language connections. I'm really interested in to read this, but I got that from my sister. She really has liked the Alan Gratz books that she's read before. So this one, if you've read any of these, they're all connected to like some kind of history event, usually kind of bad historical events, wars and stuff. They are very exciting, edge of your seat. Definitely more at like a teenager level, not really kids level, because they can be pretty heavy. But she got 2 more Alan Gratz books because she really likes his books. And this actually was an old book of mine that I found in the basement. I thought she would like it. Hercule Poirot's Christmas. And I got Spanish stuff. I got Gran Cuaderno Montessori is a series of workbooks that they're very interactive. They have a lot of cut and paste in them. And to me, what's useful about this is all the instructions are in Spanish. I believe these come out of Spain. But for me, because I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker, it's very nice to have instructions in Spanish, because that's area where I'm weak and I'm still learning. Like, even if I want to narrate an English workbook in Spanish, I don't necessarily know all the right words for cut it out or draw a line or match or all this. So I think I will be able to learn a lot of vocabulary from these. I think this is one that will start pretty soon. I got a couple of these. I'm not worried about like completing these anytime like fast or soon, but just we like to do a little bit of workbook work, especially anything with cut and paste. You get out the scissors and glue, and my son is so excited. So we'll just gradually add in. I'll probably just use one of these at a time. I'm not worried about it filling a certain subject or anything, but just an area for me to grow in Spanish and for my son to grow in doing schoolwork in Spanish. Got a lot of Spanish things. All these little books apparently came with like Cheerios boxes like 2 decades ago, and my cousin found them recently when she was cleaning out her house and saved them for me. They're all bilingual little storybooks. This is only some of them. She gave me like 10 books. I'm like, yes, I'm super excited about that. These are like little, almost kind of comic graphic style. My son really loves Elephant and Piggy, and that's what these books reminded me of. So I got 2 of those. I think he'll really like those. This is for the baby. This is his kind of book. Este no es mi tractor. That was a gift from my aunt. And I've got more picture books in Spanish, some classics that were translated into Spanish. These are all more the like easier picture books, the ones that I would be using right now as we're going into this new school year. Lots and lots of Spanish books. And I even found Peter the Naughty Rabbit, Peter Rabbit book in Spanish. PSA, Barnes & Noble has a really good kids Spanish book section. I went to 2 different Barnes & Nobles and I was very impressed. I don't know if they've always had that. I don't know if everybody knows that they have it, but definitely worth checking out if you're looking for books that you can't find elsewhere. I also, thinking ahead to the future, brought some books that are not something I would read to the kids right now, but something that would come later. So this was actually a book that used to be mine when I was studying Spanish way long before I had kids. Found that in the basement with my siblings' stuff. Got some little Magic Treehouse books for when they're ready for me to read aloud chapter books. I got Winnie the Pooh. I'm very excited to read that in Spanish. Some of these are going to challenge me. I might start reading some of these on my own because I'm also in my journey. This is a pretty easy one. We can read this one pretty soon. Got a Legend. This one just cracked me up. It is the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere in Spanish. And it was cheap, so I like to get things that make me laugh. Not saying it's funny, it was just a funny thing to be translated. And a couple other older picture books. And that is my awesome homeschool stuff. All right, now I'm gonna show you the non-homeschool stuff. Okay guys, this is gonna be a lot shorter because you know homeschool is the most important part of life. So you don't need that much besides supplies for homeschool. I got some Lincoln Logs from a flea market very inexpensively. We played with these a lot in quarantine. Now I will warn you, if you get Lincoln Logs from a flea market, the kind of pieces you get might be a little bit odd. You might not have like the perfect amount to build perfect cabins, but there's enough pieces in here. We could build some pretty cool cabins, and my boys are starting to get the hang of actually building with them. I'm excited, like that's a piece of my childhood. I picked up several graphic tees. This is just a representative one. I pretty much live in t-shirts these days, and I'm not super tall, but I'm tall for where I live. I'm about 5'5", and so finding some longer t-shirts in the US was nice. Just cotton t-shirts that look cute, that I can feel good in while I'm in my hot tropical climate. I wanted capris, but capris are apparently not in style. Too bad. I mean, I get it, but I don't always want to wear shorts at home. But jeans are really hot. These are cropped jeans, and then if you roll up the cuffs a little, like I think it looks really cute, like kind of like a capri. Like you don't feel like a few inches makes a big difference in how hot you are, but it's very hot here in the tropics. It's very humid, and wearing capris, wearing some cropped jeans just feels a lot better than wearing full-length jeans. These are Lucky brand, low-rise crop Lolita. So they're from the Lucky brand, which I think is very nice brand. They feel super good quality. Like they feel like the kind that aren't gonna stretch out and get thin. They feel really solid. I was very happy to find these. They were at Marshall's on clearance for $20. So I think they're a lot more expensive than that normally. And I also got a pair of shorts, which I think all the moms can relate to the struggle. It's hard to find shorts as a mom. I was not a huge fan of these buttons, but I don't think no one really sees the buttons. These were kind of a nice length, not super short, but not like Bermudas. And those were also on clearance. They feel really sturdy. Like I think these are the kind of jeans that can last like a decade. Like they feel like that good old-fashioned sturdy denim. So I'm really happy about that find. I got a couple Yes 2 products. This is Daily Mineral Lotion with SPF. I prefer to use SPF that has zinc oxide. I know Yes 2 is not like the most bestest totally all natural brand, but to me it's one of the most affordable brands that is also pretty solid with not having a lot of the yucky kind of ingredients. So it has the mineral sunscreen without it being crazy expensive. They were actually on sale at Target, so I got this really cheap, I think like $6. And that will last a long time. Also, something you might not realize we think about when we go to America is deodorant. It's actually pretty common. I've known a lot of expats who are like, they want to get their brand of deodorant when they go back to their home country. But I like aluminum-free, paraben-free kind of stuff, and that is pretty much impossible to find where I live, so I'm always going to stock up on a couple sticks, and then I may request it in a while in a care package or something. But I got Native deodorant. I actually haven't used Native before. I've used Tom's before for many years, but they had this available, and the Tom's that they had was not the kind of Tom's that I like, so I just got this instead. Then this is, can you see what that is? Brights. This is hair color. I've bought several packages of bright colored hair color or pastel hair colors. Demi-permanent hair colors. My 10th grade sister has requested a pastel hair job. So I got some pastels for her. I got some purples. If you used to watch my channel more than a year ago, I had purple hair. I ran out of hair color. You can't get this kind of hair color really where I live. You may see some more hair color soon. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I got Keens. This is a new style of Keens. I've never had this style before, but I like it. It's a little bit more dressy than the normal hiking Keens. And they're super comfy. I'm really excited to wear these. So I have a pair of Chacos, and then I'll have these for my not quite so hiking looking sandals. I live in sandals here. I basically would never, almost never wear like tennis shoes or anything totally enclosing your feet. It's too hot. This is the theme of all of this. My husband first bought me a pair of Keens for our honeymoon, what now, 11 years ago? And that pair lasted like 5 years. I think my last pair of Keens lasted 4 years. He got me hooked on the idea of quality shoes for me. I realized you can walk miles, you can walk all day long without your feet hurting if you get some good quality shoes. I had never had any good quality shoes before him, and now I don't need a lot of shoes. I just usually have about 2 pairs of really good quality sandals. So I have a pair of Chacos, which are what I would wear all the time. And my last pair of Chacos lasted 8 years, and then I've just gotten my second ever pair of Chacos because my last pair broke during the pandemic. I'm super excited about these. I think they'll be really cute, and I highly recommend either Keens or Chacos if you need a pair of, if you like live in sandals, which I know some of you live where it's winter, so you can't live in sandals. But if you live in sandals, and if you want sandals that are going to be comfortable and last for years and years and years, these are very highly recommended. Then these were all gifts from my aunt. She has a YouTube channel. She is Sharon's Safe Haven here on YouTube. I'll probably put a card to her channel. And she is all about safe cleaning, healthy cleaning, good quality cleaning supplies. She gave me a whole bunch of Norwex. So this is like birthday and Christmas presents for the whole family. When you're an expat, you celebrate birthdays and Christmases whenever you can with family. You don't have to wait for specific dates. So she gave us some Norwex masks for the boys, which are going to come in handy because we're still going to be wearing masks for a long time where we are. This, I think, is adorable. This is something that can sit on your counter. And then you keep these in, and these are basically the Norwex answer to paper towels, which I love this. Like, I don't want to be using paper towels all the time in my house. I want to be using something that I can clean up something and then wash it and then use it again. So I am super excited about this. I think that'll look really cute on my counter, and it's going to make it easier to say no to the paper towel choice. These are dishcloths from Norwex. You know, I think you can tell that this is kind of a mom love language, cleaning supplies as gifts. It is super exciting. Cleaning paste from Norwex that you can use with their Enviro cloth, which is this one. They're kind of all-purpose cloth. These are dishcloths. A dust mitt. If you want to know more about these kind of good quality, long-lasting cleaning products that don't have to be replaced all the time, definitely check out her channel, Sharon's Safe Haven. Also, she's just super, super sweet. And she's my mom's twin sister, so, you know, like double awesome kind of aunt. And these are for washing dishes. Like, this side is scrubby, the other side is not scrubby. I think I'm going to use these a lot, you know, spend a lot of my life washing dishes. Window cloths, the Enviro cloth, and then these are like kitchen towels. And this one is for cleaning glasses and like computer screens. It's an optics scarf. And some of the Norwex detergent. So, you know, all of this stuff, maybe not homeschool, but you know, we homeschool moms, we have to clean our houses too. And we also have to wear shoes. And we also have to wear pants. So I hope you enjoyed this epic haul. I enjoyed collecting all these things. I'm very thankful for all of those who contributed to this haul, whether it be my sister's teacher friend, the stacks of surprise things that were stored in my grandparents' basement, my aunts, my sister-in-law, my sisters, and all of those, like, kind of those combined with my own shopping on Book Outlet and Target and Amazon. You know, it takes a village to homeschool, and I hope that as you are in your homeschool journey that you also find your village, and that you find people that share their supplies with you, that support you in your dreams of building a library that looks like the Beauty and the Beast library with the ladder, the sliding ladder. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up if you love homeschool. And I will see you next time. I've got lots of fun homeschool videos planned for this fall. I'm excited to be home. I'm excited to be back and able to spend time with my sisters and my boys with new and great resources. Bye.